Waka, what's up, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch Transformers review. And yeah, this is kind of part 2 of our Ross line for Legacy Transformers. We're going to take a look at the G2 Universe Shadowstrip. And I believe this is heavily based on a G2 version of Stunticon Dragstrip. Excuse me, I almost lost my train of thought. So here we have him on the table. He is packed in his Tyrell P38 race car mode, and of course we have the box. So I did do a formal unboxing along with the Velocitron Speedia 500 Transformers Legacy Crasher. We are going to take a quick spin of the box here, so let's get right down to it. So again, we have a nice animation of G2 Dragstrip on there, or Shadowstrip Transformers Legacy Transformers and Velocitron Speedia 500 collection. It's supposed to be a big race. And then of course we have Shadowstrip with all the guns mounted, coming out guns blazing. We have a nice product shot of the race car itself, nice Tyrell P38. Then of course we have the Ross sticker blocking, great value, $8 as opposed to 23, and a nice cartoon shot of Shadowstrip coming at you. Product shots of Shadowstrip on the bag in both robot and vehicle mode, no bio to speak of. And then of course some nice Cybertronian text right here, maybe that's his bio. And then the legal mumbo jumbo on the side. I gotta flip it upside down, and there we have it for the box. And let's move right along and take a look at Shadowstrip. And yeah, you know, now I mentioned to JJ, JJ of course donated this figure to me when I picked this up at Ross. I mentioned that if I was going to go for the Menasor, I'd get Menasor in the G1 colors. That being said, I think this is actually a really great coloration. I'm not sure whether this is G2 or just a different character, but I love this black on gold. This looks absolutely spectacular. I love the nice little racing decal right here, the nice little flag tail that looks really good painted on there. Nice gold for the wheels, and the wheels, now the tires, they are plastic, but they do have kind of a rubbery feel to them, so that is kind of cool. They really got nice and flat like racing compound tires. Pretty cool there. I like the nice hues of blue paint right here. Same thing goes, this is the back of his head, as we already know. Got kind of like some gauges right here they tried to mold in. One thing, you got kind of a paint defect right here. Now it looks like the engine is supposed to be painted out in gold. You got the nice piston rods. I do love this detail, by the way. But you see a little overspray right here, or this is supposed to be gold as well, and it's black over here. So again, just a little detail. I'm not bugged, but again, it's at the end of the day, it's a mainline figure, and it's an $8 mainline figure, so I am happy with that. And then if we look at the bottom, actually that is pretty clean for the bottom. That's a nice gold. I actually like this. I know these are going to be the legs in robot mode, but you'll never see it in vehicle mode, so I really do like that. A nice, nicely filled out right here. No semblance of a robot. No semblance that it transforms, unless you know that this is his head right here. And yeah, no, definitely pretty cool. And of course, we'll take a look at his accessories. So he does come with 2 pistols. They are both the same. They got a nice scoping detail, and these are done cast in black, but they are painted a nice blue. So there we go. And of course, they are a bit hollow on the inside. I believe we can connect them together if we wanted. Can we? Yes, maybe. I don't know. Are they supposed to even do this? Yes, they are. It looks like they are. So yes, they can be connected together. It is a bit of a tight fit, maybe due to the paint. I'm not sure if drag strips were painted, but nevertheless, these are not, so they can definitely connect together. And of course, you can store them on the vehicle with, very similarly to Crasher as well. So I got these 2 ports on the top, and you could just plug one in up here, plug the other in right here. And again, that looks as ridiculous as any other vehicle mode carrying weapons, but it is what it is. And of course, Shadowstrip does roll very nicely, I might add. So there we go for that. And for a couple quick comparisons, let's bring it in with Legacy Crasher, of course, since we kind of basically filmed this on the same day. So I did one comparison with one video, and then I'm going straight to the other one. You can see how they both work out together. Again, 2 formula vehicles looking pretty good. Obviously, Crasher a bit larger looking on this front than the Tyrell P38. And then, of course, we will bring in Studio Series 86 Hot Rod, and we can see how that works out side by side. And there we have them both together. So yeah, and there we have it for a couple quick quick comparisons. And real quick, let's do the first transformation. We are going to go into combine mode, since this is a combiner, of course, or a part of a combiner. And that's really simple. So you got this little slot right down here that has the little release. You can just take it into the spudger and just poke it in right there. Maybe we'll take the other side, and that will release everything. And yeah, there you go. And this will just connect onto, I believe it connects to these pegs here. Those just connect onto the Menasor body that you get with Motor Master. So there we go for that. And yeah, there is Transformation 1 in combine mode. All right, let's get Shadowstrip transforming up into his robot mode. And real quick, I gotta say, you don't know how many takes it took me to say Shadowstrip. I keep wanting to call him Dragstrip or Cyberstrip for some reason. But either way, let's get right down to it. And with most mainlines, this is relatively fun and enjoyable, really intuitive as well. So let's get down to it. Now, he does have these panels here on his legs that kind of open up. You can just kind of reach in there and open them up. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring his legs down. They're gonna come down on this hinge right here, and then what you can do is you have a a little slot right here. You can just spread his legs, and then next what we can do is you can close up these panels right here, and you can bring his little spoiler down that's going to form his feet, and then of course you could turn his legs around just like that, and that is pretty much it for the bottom half. Let's move on up. All right, so now for his upper half, what you're gonna do is you're gonna unpeg the chest from here, and then you can rotate this whole assembly around just like this, and then you can kind of push his head all the way around just like that. Next up, what you want to do is the forearms kind of tab in, so you just kind of want to unlock his forearms, and then you gotta rotate these up if you so desire. They just rotate up and back. Same thing for the other side. And then you have a tab slot connection in here, and now you can see it just everything's gonna fold down on these hinges right here, and you can just fold it down and it'll lock in just like that. Same thing for the other side. And next up, what you want to do is you got the chest. It's on a double hinge right here, so you just kind of fold that down. It kind of takes a little bit of force, but you can do it. And you have a tab slot connection right here and another tab slot connection right here for that, and that's going to just tab in and kind of hold everything. Ooh, not the camera. That's going to hold everything together, and then these pieces just rotate around like so and like so. And forgot one important part. Just kind of fold these the front spoiler in like that, and there we go. Like magic, there we have Shadowstrip in robot mode. So let's talk about Shadowstrip in robot mode real quick. And yeah, looking really good. I love the use of paint on this guy. He is kind of like a stealth Dragstrip. Dragstrip with stealth armor. Let's get a look at the head, and I love the mouth. The mouth just has such a natural look to it. It's done in nice vibrant red paint. Nice vibrant red. It's like a more blood red, a dull red for the visor, and nice blue helmet right here. The head is painted really, really well. I do dig it quite a lot. I love the gold accents on here. Lots of gold accents over the black plastic is really good. Oh, I just noticed on the front spoiler you got an intake on there. That's pretty cool. But yeah, you got a little bit of the engine detail. Of course, faux engine. The actual engine is right back here, which is really cool. How they kind of work that in. So definitely very cool. And then of course you got the legs here with that nice gold vent detailing right on the bottom there. Everything looking back. The spoiler, the way it pegs out is kind of intrusive, but again, it's a mainline. What do you want? I'm not too crazy about it. No kibble on the back. Again, everything looks really natural, really good. Not this, except for a gap here and again because mainline, a little bit of waffles. This actually looks really, really good. Again, not kibbly at all. A really nice, solid offering of the character, or another mold, another reuse of this mold, but nevertheless, still looks really, really good. Again, I'm a big fan of this. So there we go. One last thing, he does have a gap in the back of his head. It forms a seat in the car mode, so just FYI. Next up, let's do some articulation. So the head does rotate. It doesn't really go up or down. I'm not even sure what it's on. I can't say, it might be on a mushroom pack. I don't know. But anyway, it don't really rotate side to side. The arms will go all the way around. They kind of do get hung up on the spoiler, so they might go all the way around, but they might not. They do go all the way out to the side. He does have bicep swivel. He does have a elbow bend that gets you over the 90 for a little bit the yeah, and nothing really at the wrist to speak of. Let's bring out his arms real quick. He does rotate at the waist, pretty cool. He can get you a nice Dragstrip fusion kick. He can get you a Dragstrip fusion back kick. Look at that, and he can get you all the way out to the side. The joints all feel really good, by the way. No complaints with how they feel. Everything feels really nice, really solid feeling connection. He does have a full bend at the knee for a nice 90, and the feet, they come down like this, and no real, you can use the transformation joint to get you some ankle tilt, but there we go for that. And yeah, overall, really nicely articulated and good feeling robot. Lastly, let's get into his accessories, which are pretty much the same as we showed you before. You got his blue blasters, and he can hold them in his hands. Just peg them in right there, and peg them in right there. And there we go for that, and he can blow away some Autobots. And again, that looks really cool. I love how the guns show up. The class is really nice with the paint. Again, really well done figure. So yeah, and there we go for that. And if you don't want him holding his guns, you can peg them in anywhere. You could peg them in. Kind of disconnect his front end. You can peg them in right back here or on his feet. So again, you can peg one in. You can just kind of store it right back there, or you can peg this in and store it right back here, just like that. And again, that's a really cool way to store them. In fact, if you know, especially for storage and robot mode, they're kind of out of sight, out of mind. So if you want to display without his guns but keep his guns with him, that's a really cool option. So there you go for that. And for a quick comparison, so hard to see, he's a stealth ninja. Let's bring in our other Ross purchase. Let's bring in, of course, Crasher, so we can see how that looks out. And of course, you can tell these reviews are kind of filmed in tandem because basically they'll put them in the 30 seconds after the other one. So there we go for that. Just a quick comparison so you can see how that looks out. Just kind of an older race car mode, newer race car mode. Pretty cool for that. And last but not least, let's bring in the only other mainline in my collection next to Buzzworthy Jazz, who is not transformed at the moment. And there we go, next to SS86 Hot Rod, and we can see how that works out. And yeah, I think this is a decent scale, especially for this figure over this one. I kind of picture Hot Rod as being a bit taller than the Stuntagon, so there we go for that. So let's summarize, and there we have it for Transformers Legacy G2 Universe Shadowstrip, or a reuse of the Legacy Dragstrip mold. And yeah, I mean, honestly, this is a really good mold. So of course, if you can't find Dragstrip anywhere, or don't want to pay any crazy prices for Dragstrip, and you can find this at for a decent price, yeah, definitely highly suggested. I do love the paint job on it. Again, it's not G1, but it is really cool. I do dig it. I dig the flag decal and whatnot. I think it looks really good. I love the paint usage on the head. I think it's cool that the guns are painted. Articulation is really nice. All the joints feel really good. They feel really solid, well put together. Very lacking in kibble too. I mean, he does have the frontal spoiler hanging out on his shoulders, but other than that, I think that this is a really good looking mainline figure, and definitely, you know, so it's another chance to have this beautiful mold. So I definitely do highly think it's really cool, and if you can find it, definitely suggest picking it up. Transformation, fun, simple, enjoyable. No comments there. And of course, the combined mode, what do you want? It doesn't get any easier than a little button. And whoa, almost knocked him over. Doesn't get any easier than a little button to change him into his combined mode. And that being said, that is going to conclude this review. Now, if you found this review fun and helpful, consider hitting that like button down below, because that really helps me out. Also, consider subscribing to the channel. I do Transformers reviews anywhere from 1 to 2 times a week, in addition to some other stuff. So if you want to stay tuned for the next installment of what I'm filming, definitely consider subscribing and hit that subscribe button down below. We are growing. Thank you so much to those of you who already are. I'm going to put a link in the description to the Big Bad Toy Story, so if you can find it there. But if you can find it at your local Ross for $8, definitely worth a pickup, especially to handle this awesome mold. And that being said, I have been SC Finch. That is going to conclude this review. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.